Hello, traders. I've got a stock that looks great right now, and I'll explain how I found it and why I like it. Subscribe to my channel now and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of these daily trades. You'll help me build my channel, and I'll help you build your account. Let's get started. We are 2.5 hours into trading. It is Tuesday, March 9th. Hello, traders. I'm going to start with the market first, and then we're going to take a look for some trades. I need to resolve some confusion. People are asking me about the Apple short yesterday. This is the market on a weekly chart. Look at this momentum. Look at this strength. Only fools short a market with this type of momentum before you have a technical breakdown and confirmation that the market is rolling over. Let's take a look at the daily chart. For the daily chart, I'm going to zoom out a little bit because it'll be easier for us to take a look at it longer term. Look at that strength. This is not a market that you want to be shorting overnight. Forget about the technicals. Look at the fundamentals as well. You've got a Fed that has its foot on the gas pedal. You have a $1.9 trillion stimulus bill that's going to get passed. You've got 900 billion that was passed in December, 600 trillion that was passed last year. There's no reason to short the market right now. Interest rates at historic lows. But if I go back to the normal view, you can see that there is selling pressure in here. So if I am a swing trader and I'm trading inside of a 1 month window, I need to be very, very careful because we're starting to see some organized selling pressure. Today, we have a nice little rally above a downward sloping trend line that I referenced yesterday. So let's draw that in and we will connect that top there and these tops right here. And you can see we're poking through the upper end of that downward sloping trend line. Yippee! Is this it? Off to the races? Well, that is a bullish flag formation, but there's not much of a flagpole. I would like to see a stock that's run higher or the SPY and then pulled back briefly and then it goes. Here we've been moving pretty much horizontally. So I don't view today's move as anything more than a one-off bar. It's nice. It feels good. Are we going to be chasing this and looking for a breakout to a new all-time high? I'm not. If I see it and I see a couple of long consecutive green candles with lots of volume closing on their high through that high, yes, then I'll start to consider taking some long positions and I'll look at the fact that there are probably some asset managers who need to catch up, that they're under allocated. But with this type of volatility right here, I'm not going to get overly excited. We've had the average true range, as I pointed out yesterday, rise from approximately 30 S&P points per day back in here 2 weeks ago to right now more than 80 S&P points per day. That is a lot of volatility. Do you think that these sellers right here are just going to go away because the market is up today? I personally don't. And the one thing that's been driving the market is TLT. So let's make sure that we take a look at it. You can see this downward sloping channel right here. We broke through the lower end. I had been mentioning I thought that this might be a capitulation low, especially after that long green candle right here. But no, TLT continued to drift lower. This morning, we had a nice gap higher on TLT, and that got everybody excited. But look what it's done since then. It's been drifting lower and lower and filling in some of this gap. Interest rates still seem to have plenty of upward pressure, and that was the reason that tech stocks sold off so hard. So right now, I'm not seeing everything that gives me the warm fuzzies that I need. Stock valuations are still lofty. I believe we're going to need at least 1 quarter, maybe two, for stocks to grow into their current valuations. We need to see those profits. We need to see that robust economic recovery. So as exciting as it is to turn your screen on and see a 40-point S&P rally with follow through, once the programs kick in, be it on the downside or the upside, the momentum tends to feed on itself. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. You had a nice little bullish flag formation here, lots of tiny little candles in here, and then finally a breakout to the upside. So this might have gotten a few traders short thinking that, oh, here we go. We're going to give up the open of that long green candle and we've got a chance to pull back. And that's what fueled that little bit of a breakout. This is a bullish trend day. I don't believe you're going to see any big selling pressure until maybe the last 30 minutes of the day. And even then, it's not going to be big selling pressure. We'll just give some of the gains back. Yes, everything technically looks pretty good. I don't like the volatility here. I like the fact that we're above that downward sloping trend line. I love the fact that we're above the 50-day moving average. We're above the 100-day and the 200-day by a large margin. So yes, everything feels pretty good, but we can expect this type of volatility to return. I still believe it's too early to get in there and start aggressively selling out of the money bullish put spreads. I was shaken out of my positions on these moves. I had to take some losses. I'm on the sidelines. I'm not going to stick my head back in that noose anytime soon. I am patiently going to wait for clarity. Does that mean that I should be selling out of the money bearish call spreads? No, not with that type of upward momentum. It's okay to be in cash, and that's what most traders don't grasp. They feel that they always have to have a position on. Always got to have a position on. Sometimes it's good just to be in cash, evaluate the situation. If I start to see a pullback here, a higher low, double bottom with an instant rebound and a long green candle, then I'm going to feel pretty good about this being a major support level. For right now, we've got two candles with nice long tails under the body. That's a good sign. I'd like to see a higher low in here, and then I'll feel more and more confident that the market was not even able to come back here and test that support level before buyers were stepping in. And that's what a higher low represents. Buyers are anxious to get in, and now on the next dip, instead of buying here or here, they're buying right up in here. That tells me that the bid is very, very strong and that the likelihood of a move higher is good. Right now, we've got the stimulus bill. It's in the House. I believe that they're going to pass this week. That means that the stimulus checks will get out probably in the next week to 10 days. Fantastic for those people who are hurting. And I think that that air is going to get let out of the balloon. And I believe that after that, we're going to probably see more sideways trading like this with volatility. So right now, I'll show you some day trades, not swing trades, day trades. And I'm going to show you the type of analysis that I'll use for day trades, and this translates into swing trades, except instead of looking at a 5-minute chart, you'll be looking at a daily chart, but the same patterns hold true. And the same premise of looking for heavy volume and relative strength also holds true. So let's get that 5-minute chart back up of the S&P, and you can see nice little breakout. We have nice momentum to the upside. We can expect that stocks are going to continue to grind higher. We've got my 10p indicator getting ready for a bearish cross in here, so we need to be a little careful to see if we get a little bit of a pullback off of this high. So let's take a look at our heavy buying search and let's flip some charts. Before I day trade a stock on before I day trade a stock, I like to look at the daily chart because I want to know that I like it on a swing basis first. And in this particular case, Tesla was first up. You can see how it is trying to get above that 100-day moving average. I'm not a big fan right here. It's going to hit resistance at that 100-day moving average. If I only looked at the daily chart, put up that 5-minute chart, I would go, hey, hey, here we go. Look at this. Nice relative strength following the market higher. I want to buy it here. That's why it's critically important to look at a longer time frame and to know where those major moving averages come into play. So no, wouldn't touch Tesla. I'm not a big fan of trading short squeezes like GME. Yes, you can make a lot of money on it. I guess we can take a peek at what the stock's doing. You can see a fair amount of relative strength in here, but that can change quickly. And if you take a look at this little move right here, everything looks great. And the stock goes from 246 down to about 230 and a few bars. I don't need to play with that. I've got other better opportunities setting up. NVDA, we're going to continue to go back in the daily chart because I like the fact that it's above the 200-day moving average. I love the fact that it's been able to get above the open of this long red candle. But look, that is heavy selling pressure. It needs to show me more than that over a period of time before I want to like it on a swing basis. And that means that I'm going to take a pass on it on a day trading basis. Boeing, that looks really nice. It's trying to get through this little horizontal resistance level. It's held up well relative to the market. Take a look at the 5-minute chart. I do know as a day trader that this tends to be a very choppy stock. So you do have to wait for pullbacks in it. Once you get a pullback and support, I think Boeing probably looks pretty decent for day trading on the long side. CAN. This is nice. You can see some nice relative strength in here. Let's go to that daily chart. And this is actually a strong stock. This is a cryptocurrency stock. And there's another one that I want to show you because it also looks good. The nice thing about market pullbacks is that when you get an S&P 500 pullback, you get to see which stocks retain their value, quote unquote, have relative strength, and which stocks are full of fluff. When I saw this recent tech pullback, I watched cryptocurrency stocks very closely, and these held up well. I think CAN is one that wants to go higher. Another one that's on this list is MARA. There is a nice downward sloping trend line right there, and that's a bullish flag formation. There's your flagpole. Look at how well the stock held this breakout right here. We are currently short an out of the money bullish put spread below that 50-day moving average. I think this stock is going to go higher. Most tech stocks got absolutely buried in this last tech sell-off, but this one did not. And so I'm going to overlay the QQQ, and you can see how much the QQQ fell. And look at this stock just hanging in there beautifully, even after a big run up like that. I think this stock is going to continue to move higher. So I'm going to continue to go down the list. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to remove that SPY overlay so that we can see the charts a little bit more clearly. And I wouldn't touch this one yet. Still has not shown me anything that tells me that the stock has a base that it can rally off of. Apple was one that I showed you yesterday. Excuse me, I've got to get this overlay off, and then we'll be able to look at the charts a little bit more clearly. You can see Apple still got this longer term downward sloping trend line. It's still got to get through the 100-day moving average. I would not be buying it yet. It still looks weak to me. So I'm going to continue to go through the list, see if I can find anything. I'm going to go into Pop Bull, and that will give me some really nice swing candidates right away. But again, mind you, I'm only looking for good swing candidates because I want an entry point on my day trades, not because I'm entering a long position in a swing trade. I am not ready to do that yet. So I think I've hammered that point home today. So I'm going to take a look at AMRS. That is a nice looking stock. So let's take a look at that 5-minute chart. And here you can see you've got a compression. And what I would do on this particular candidate is I would want to drop an alert line. And I would want to drop it right here. And now when the stock pokes above it, I'll know that there's a possible entry point. I'm also going to be looking for heavy volume. So the easiest way for me to find this is pretty nice. This is Starbucks breaking out to a new high for the day, continuing to move higher. And there you can see it's trying to get through this horizontal resistance. It's got some overhead resistance in here. I would rather have a nice, clear path higher with the stock already moving through any possible horizontal resistance. Hey, here's one right here. Look, it's already cleared all the hurdles. BOX. That looks like an excellent candidate, and look at that relative strength. That is a stock that I would be day trading. And look at this volume right here. So if we go into custom search, we can look for these candidates. I'm going to put in a decent option liquidity. Most people like to trade options, so I'm going to make sure that it's, and this also ensures that the stock has pretty decent liquidity. And then I'm going to click on heavy volume today. I can even click on heavy volume in the last 15 minutes, and then we'll see what we've got coming up here. I'll also want to make sure that I have strength versus the S&P 500 on a 5-minute basis. I could also click that on a daily basis, and that will help me filter out some of the stocks that have sold off hard and that are simply bouncing today. Now let's see what we get. There's only a couple, but that's okay. It won't take me long to knock through these two stocks. Let's take a look at them. But that BOX, that's going to be my pick of the day. This stock sold off and now it's starting to bounce. That would not be my favorite. AMRS, you can see that was one that I just put that alert on. It's starting to pick up some steam in here. Would rather see that on a little bit more volume. So you can see that that alert is how I would know about the stock. So I'm not a big fan of the first candidate, DISCA, because it has pulled back. NWSA. Let's take a look at this one. Decent relative strength, getting back up to the high. There's your 15-minute volume spike right in there. Take a look at the daily chart. Yes, it's had relative strength, and we know that from the search that we just conducted. This would be a nice candidate for a day trade. Well, why do I have to like it on a swing basis, Pete? I'm going to be in and I'm going to be out of it today. So, what do I care about what it looks like on a longer term basis? For me personally, it just increases my odds of success because I know that on a swing basis, the stock looks good. All I have to do is to pick a decent entry point to get in today, and I would expect it to trade higher. In the event that I get blindsided by some type of wacky market pullback, and with this type of market volatility, it could happen. I may get stuck in this stock. And let's say that I buy it up here and it has that type of drop, and now the market's starting to fall and the stock pulls back. I can hold it overnight if I want to because it looks good on a swing basis. Well, Pete, that's not what you're supposed to do with day trades. Day trades are supposed to be day trades and you're not supposed to hold them overnight. That's how you get in trouble. That's not how I trade. When I get into a position, I like to look at it on a swing basis. I like to look at it on a day trading basis. I like to watch the market and I like to watch the relative strength in the stock. If it pulls back, I'm not going to sweat bullets in it. I'm going to know that I've got a lot of staying power in it. I've had a hiccup that I need to get through, and eventually that stock is going to continue to move higher. That's why I do my analysis on a swing basis and on a day trading basis. So BOX is the day trading pick that I like. And these are, this NWSA could be good, a little bit choppy and chunky in here. Not too bad though. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit more and get a few more candidates in here. I'd like to help you find one other, and we can see that right back in there. VIAC. Let's take a look at that one. Pulled back pretty sharply on the open. It's got a little bit of a head of steam right now. You can see how much it rallied yesterday. So it's giving back some of those gains from the prior day. But oh yeah, this stock has probably got a whole lot of strength and now it's starting to grind higher. Yes, I probably would day trade this one. It's going a little bit parabolic, but if it continues to catch a bid here and continues to grind higher, I would probably ride that one a little bit higher. That's how you find your trades. One more time, market recap, market grinding higher in here. Got a little bit of a bearish cross on 10p. I'd be a careful buyer. If buying at all, I would rather see my 10p indicator for the S&P 500 pull back, have a nice trough, get a bullish cross down here, and then I would be looking at stocks like these to get long, because when I get that bullish 10p cross, the market should be ready to go higher, and I'll have the strongest stocks to help me increase my odds of success. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.